Namaskar. Welcome you all. This is lesson number 18. Lesson 18, Indian Financial Market. Let us first do the difficult words. This is the sign of difficult, and words, this is the sign of words. Difficult word. We will understand difficult word first. Financial. Investor. Borrower is a person who borrows money. Transaction. Like when you do sale or any auction, then that is known as transaction. It should not be fake, it should be real, original. Commercial. Certificate. Like 10th pass or 12th pass, there are different certificates when you do any course, and in the end you are given certificate. This is secondary. Capital. Earlier we did commercial. This is capital. This is different. Goodwill. When there is any company or there is any enterprise which is famous, that is a goodwill. Convenience. Speculation. Stock exchange. We understood the difficult words. Now we will start the lesson. You can connect the words and their meaning. Now we are going to discuss the financial market. Whenever there is any need, we go to market and buy the product, whatever we require. Let us now understand the different functions of financial market. There are different features, different functions. In points we will discuss. Like the first point is it helps investors and the borrower. The second point is it provides pricing information about the different assets, the things which are needed for sale, so that people can be aware about them. The third point is, like we discussed about the sale and the people's awareness. So this is related to that. It is about providing security for financial dealings. The fourth point explains about another function which ensures that liquidity of financial assets to make it as an easy sale. The fifth point, which is a function of financial market, is the low cost transactions. Let us now understand the different types of financial markets. I will explain them. You will understand it better. The first financial market is the money market. This one is different. So, money market is a different. You must be thinking about money and how is it different? Let me explain that to you. You just need to observe the amount of money and the transactions which are related to it. So, this is important. The money market instruments. There are two groups. The first group I will explain, then after that the second group I will explain. The first one is which is known as call money. It is used by banks every day when there is a one-to-one or face-to-face interaction. Suppose a person needs some amount of loan, then and the bank gives loan, but the duration is the short duration. It is like call money. When we say that tomorrow I will return back for 1 day or 2 day, maximum of 14 days repayment. It's a short term plan. The second money market instrument is treasury bills. This is issued by RBI. RBI, we all know, Reserve Bank of India. RBI has their own rules and regulations, and they also do the necessary paperwork. Just take example, I need some amount of 4,000 or 40,000, 3,500 for example, then RBI will hold that documents or amount, and when I will return that money, they will give those papers which were under their custody. The duration is 364 days, below 364 days, or you can say less than 364 days. And it is really easy to sell, so that you need to return or you need to give back the amount within this time duration. This one is easy, very easy, and gives you more profit. The third type of money market instrument is commercial paper. These are the legal papers. It was set up in the year 1990. Anyone who needs loan can apply using those legal formalities, and the duration for this commercial paper is 15 days till 1 year. The second is the fourth one, which is certificate of deposits. This is also issued by the legal firm, and the duration for this is also 91 days. till 1 year. So within the 1 year time, you need to return the amount. The fifth type is trade bill. Normally, the traders buy goods from the wholesalers or manufacturers, and the sellers get payment after the end of the credit period. Let us now understand the capital market. There are two groups we can understand this concept. The first one is primary market, and the second one is secondary market. Let us now understand the different characteristics of market. We understood primary market and secondary market. Now, both the primary and secondary markets are different. Let us understand the difference. You can see on the screen, there are different columns, issues of securities. Whenever we need some amount of money, then in the secondary market, we sell and we get the benefit. If we see below that on the screen, the location. In the primary market, there is no fixed location. It is flexible. At any place, this can be set up. But in the secondary market, location is usually the financial capital of the country. Below that, you can see the transfer. Word transfer is written. Whenever there are transfers among two people or bank and a person. But in the secondary market, you can see that securities are transferred from one investor to the another. The investors are different. Below that, you can see on the screen the word entry. In this also, the primary market and the secondary market varies. Almost every company can participate in the primary market. Let us now take a break.
नमस्कार। जैसा कि आप सब जानते हैं कि कोरोना वैश्विक महामारी से जंग अभी है जारी, तो जब तक दवाई नहीं तब तक ढलाई नहीं। सरकार द्वारा जारी आदेशों का पालन करना जिम्मेदारी है हमारी। मास्क लगाकर निकलें घर से बाहर, 2 गज दूरी बनाकर करें नमस्कार, हाथों को धोएं दिन में बार बार, तभी सुरक्षित रहेगा कोरोना से देश और समाज। शिक्षा का जिम्मा NIOS का काम, घर से शिक्षार्थियों के लिए शिक्षा हुई अब आसान।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो, धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
मित्रों हम उठे और जागे,
मंजिल आने की ध्वनि सुने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर
शिक्षा परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर दुनिया में इसके केंद्र बात,
कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने,
Let's now understand the word basis, which you can see on the screen. Beside that, you can see the capital market column, and adjacent to that, there is a column, and money market is written there. So, 3 columns you can see on the screen. Below that, you can see fund type. There are different types of fund that I will be explaining, and beside that the word you can see is long term, and beside that the word written is short term. The third word in the first column is securities sold, and with that you can see shares, debentures, etc. And in the third column, third row, the word is commercial paper trade bill. We already understood this trade bill. So, this trade bill is the same thing which we understood that time. And the fourth word is participant. Like if I am involved in any work, then I am a participant. Beside that, you can see the word stock, brokers, investors. These are the people who work as stockbrokers and investors. Beside that, you can see commercial banks like RBI we already discussed earlier. And the last row, the first word is managed by SEBI, SEBI, and then RBI. Now you can see on the screen stock exchange. This one is different from the topics we discussed. Stock exchange, this is a sign. Let me explain you the meaning of exchange. What kind of exchange is this? You have seen the graph with the image ups and downs of the financial graphic line. If any person is doing any work, there are different factors involved in that work. Let us now understand the different functions and characteristics of stock exchange. It has few points. You will understand when you understand all those points. The first point is it provides a structure, organized market system. The second point, it is also on the screen. You can see the selling or buying of the approved securities. The finger spelling I did is approved securities. Let us now understand the third point. When there are different members and the transactions are done between and among the members only, not to the any person who is outsider. The fourth point is, as we already discussed about the stock market, the fourth point explains that there are rules for the people who want to apply in the stock market. And the fifth point explains that full information given to the public. Let's now understand the functions of stock exchange. When there are different things which are ready in the stock exchange, it means the work is continue. It's a continuous process, not a one-time process. It's a continuous process. Next to this is it provides information about the different prices and the different sales. Another function is it provides safety to dealings and the investments. The fourth point explains that it helps in mobilization of the company's savings and savings of the capital amount. The sixth point explains that the economic conditions and the business conditions are just like economic health of a country. It should improve. So the barometer, it works as a barometer. The sixth point is the better allocation of funds. There are different steps involved, like we have class 1, 2, 3, it's a sequence wise, and we all follow a particular step. Let's now understand the advantages of stock exchange. To the companies, we will discuss first. Like we discussed about the goodwill, it is one of the advantage of stock exchange. The second advantage is the investments increased. The third advantage to the company is the companies have higher value. And the fourth advantage to the company is that now companies can decide the issues. Different companies have their different issues, so accordingly they can decide their issues in detail. Now we will discuss the advantages of stock exchange to the investors. The first benefit is that it is convenient and easy to buy. Anyone can buy it. The second advantage to the investor is it is safe while dealing. The third advantage to the investor is that the information, it is regularly and easily available. The fourth advantage to the investor is that in stock exchange, it is easy to get loans against the shares. The person need not worry. The loan taking is really easy. Earlier we had discussed the advantages of stock exchange to the companies, then to the investors. Now this one is to the society. All three are different. So I would be explaining now to make all the 3 points as a separate. To the society, this is the finger spelling of society, sign of society. The first advantage to the society is that the capital information increases. The second advantage of stock exchange is that the promotion of growth. Now this is the spelling which I did the sign. This is the growth, sign of growth. The third advantage is that there is increase in the investment value. Any investment or any loan you take, any investment you do, the value increases. The fourth advantage of stock exchanges that whenever there is any fluctuations in the economy, it goes up, it goes down. So the changing economy, it gets reflected according to the ups and downs. So it is an advantage. The fifth point, the fifth advantage to the stock exchange to the society is that successful issues of government PSU securities. This is the success, sign of success. Now you can see on the screen the word LIMITATIONS, limitations. I am finger spelling. This is the sign of limitations. These are kind of barriers. Whenever we don't get success, we try and we fail, we didn't get approval. So all these are the limitations. Limitations of stock exchange. Earlier we had discussed the speculation word. In the difficult words, whenever there is any confusion and we need to speculate and analyze properly. So that is a kind of problem if we don't speculate. The second point, which you can see on the screen also, is about the fluctuations and the changes in prices. There are different ups and downs, and the prices sometimes goes up, sometimes it varies suddenly. So this is a kind of limitation of the stock exchange. You can see on the screen the word speculation in stock exchange. Speculation word means, just take example, I am sharing and I bought some share, I am working and there is an increase in some value and I thought of selling the shares to get more benefit. I found a little increase in the value and then I sold. Let's take a break here.
नमस्कार। जैसा कि आप सब जानते हैं कि कोरोना वैश्विक महामारी से जंग अभी है जारी, तो जब तक दवाई नहीं तब तक ढलाई नहीं। सरकार द्वारा जारी आदेशों का पालन करना जिम्मेदारी है हमारी। मास्क लगाकर निकलें घर से बाहर, 2 गज दूरी बनाकर करें नमस्कार, हाथों को धोएं दिन में बार बार, तभी सुरक्षित रहेगा कोरोना से देश और समाज। शिक्षा का जिम्मा NIOS का काम, घर से शिक्षार्थियों के लिए शिक्षा हुई अब आसान।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने, हम अपना दीपक मालिक स्वयं बने हम, अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने हम।
अपना जीवन स्वयं बने हम, अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो,
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
मित्रों हम उठे और जागे,
मंजिल आने की ध्वनि सुने हम। अपना जीवन स्वयं बने हम, अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालय का है द्वार खुला सबकी खातिर।
शिक्षा परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर।
शिक्षा और परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर। दुनिया में इसके केंद्र बहुत,
कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने हम। अपना जीवन स्वयं बने हम, अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने हम।
Let us now understand stock exchange in India. In India, we have different kinds of stock exchanges. They were all set up at different time, different years. The first one is, you can see on the screen also, the Bombay Stock Exchange. It was started in the year 1875. And another stock exchange in India, it is in Ahmedabad Stock Exchange. It was started in the year 1894. The sign of Ahmedabad is this. The third stock exchange which is in India is Kolkata Stock Exchange, and the sign of Kolkata is this. Kolkata Stock Exchange was started in the year 1908. On the screen you can see 1939, year 1939. In this year, the 7 different stock exchanges were set up. And then below that, in the year 1945, stock exchange in India, we have NSE. National Stock Exchange is the highest stock exchange, is known as main hub. Stock exchange has some rules and regulations, and what does it do? In government sector, there are different laws. We can say that there are two main laws. The first one is the Securities Contracts Act. It was started in the year 1956. Below that you can see the Securities Regulation Act. And it was started in the year 1957. Let's now understand the role of SEBI, SEBI. We all know that SEBI is Securities Exchange Board of India. It promotes the investors' interest. The second role is that it promotes the development of market. Another role of the SEBI is it regulates the market rule. And the fourth rule is to handle the problems and manages the matters. Let's now understand the NSEI. It was started in the year 1992. This is the National Stock Exchange of India. This is the highest level exchange. The objectives of NSEI, which you can see on the screen as well. What are the aims and objectives of NSEI? That I will be explaining. The first objective is to provide transparent market for all securities. This is the important objective. Another important objective of NSEI is to ensure access to all the investors in all parts of India. Another objective of NSEI is to provide the efficient electronic trading. The fourth objective of NSEI is to make the necessary settlement for a shorter period. The fifth objective of NSEI is to meet the international standards. We know the national, this is the sign of national. Now this is the sign of international standard, to meet the international standard. So this is the main objective of NSEI. Let us now understand the trading procedures in stock exchange. The first one is selection of a broker. Any amount of investment or any capital amount of money you invest, this is the first procedure. The second is to place the order, and after placing the order we have to execute the order. After executing the order, we prepare the contract note. All the rules and regulations we prepare. And below that you can see the final settlement. That is the final paperwork. So this is the final work. So these are the procedures. Now we will be talking about the services, the depository services. It was started in the year 1996. The depository services are different. Like we have different shares and we pay for the services, we all know. Whenever we want to take back the services, we deposit some amount for the same. Now let us discuss the constituents of depository systems. There are different points. Basically, there are 4 participants. The first one is depository participant. The second is depository. Third is the issuing company. And the fourth is the beneficial owner. Let's now understand the benefits. The first benefit is that it saves time. The second benefit is it saves the paperwork, there is no paperwork. Another benefit is it is low cost. And the fourth benefit is that the sale and purchase is handled by the depository itself. The next benefit is that it is easy to trade. The sixth benefit is the transparency is clear. Seventh benefit is that no physical presence is needed. It automatically moves further. And the eighth benefit is that there is no risk of loss. I have explained this lesson now. It is over, and this is the time of questions, to look at the questions and try to find the answers. So you yourself has to try to find the answers. I will be asking questions now. Question 1. You have to explain the meaning of capital market. Answer we already have discussed in this video. Second question is you have to list the advantages of stock exchange. Answer we already have discussed in this video. Third question is you have to explain the functions of stock exchange. Answer has already been discussed in the video. Fourth question, you have to explain the role of SEBI, S-E-B-I. We have already discussed the answer in this video. Fifth question is you have to explain the objectives of the NSEI. Answer we have already discussed in this video. Sixth question is you have to explain the difference between primary and secondary market. Both are different. You have to explain the difference. Answer we have already discussed in this video. Thank you.
नमस्कार। जैसा कि आप सब जानते हैं कि कोरोना वैश्विक महामारी से जंग अभी है जारी।